Hey, what's up guys? It's Eric from the Ancient of Days YouTube channel. Today it is the 23rd of November 2021 and yeah, we are going to look and prove what I've been saying since May 2nd of 2021, that they've actually built this perimeter around my house of antenna structures as well as a weapon system, and it's not just here. I've done the field work. So whatever they're building is highly clandestine and they don't want people to know about it. But since we went ahead and installed that security system, why did we install a security system? The reason why we installed a security system is because so many crazy things have been happening around here. I didn't ask for the security system. I am the security system. My intuition has been dead nuts since this entire Night's Watch investigation began in 2019 after my near-death experience, and even before that. The reason why I got off all my meds at the end of my 9-month fast that I didn't even know I was on, like I didn't realize I was going on a 9-month fast. Who the heck in the world would want to go on a 9-month fast? I had to get 20 years of those toxins out of my body. And I also wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy, because I said I was seeing things and just hearing things, and it was just madness. So then I had a near-death experience in 2019 around late March or so, and then I came back. When I came back, I received the seal of living God upon my forehead, and then I was able to go on what's called the Night's Watch investigation. Now we are at the almost at the end of the 3rd year. Now most of the investigation work is done during the day. This particular investigation was for 6 months. Most people couldn't possibly believe what I was telling them. This starts all the way back under videos, of course, on, let's see, right here. I thought it started on the Lovecraftian old ones, but it really starts here at Police State NWO, The Last Reich, Hawk Drone Surveillance Technology, as well as AI biobots, frequency assault, surveillance, and whatever. Biolocust bots, and the list goes on, guys. That's why I'm going to create a playlist regarding this specific investigation and what they have actually built up here in northern Connecticut, because where I live, there are lots of very, very tall evergreens, and I mean tall, over 200 feet, many of them, in the hilly areas especially. So they went ahead and built this clandestine system. Many of them are non-humans, and you're gonna see it in this video. I promise you guys, you're gonna see it. You can't deny what I'm going to publish today. It was captured with the night vision cam from the security system, and I feel strongly that I was meant to record it, and not by Father God, so to say. Okay, perhaps he wanted me to see it too as well, but I do feel the adversary wanted to try to spook me, put more psychological pressure on me, and yeah, it shook me up when I first saw it. I couldn't believe it, because they could do this thing so hidden and cloaked out that you cannot even possibly pick them up, even with a night vision camera. But they actually put lights on. And in night vision, when a light is very dull, it looks bright, like somebody put out a whole bunch of halogen lamps out there. This alarm clock right here. We got this alarm clock that just has little batteries in the back, okay? Doesn't give off any RF pulses or any EMFs. And that's because there's no chipsets installed in there. That's why I got it. I got this when I moved down to the downstairs. And then what I did is I used it maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times max, when I had to get up super early for an appointment, because when I get these injections at the surgical center, a lot of times they're at like 7 in the morning and you got to be there for like 5:30. So that's when I would set the alarm clock, because I'm usually up before 6 anyway. But this alarm clock right here, on the morning of the 21st of 2021 of November, it went off at like 4:20 something. Okay, and I don't know why it went off, but at 4:20 something, it went off. My wife started hitting her alarm, thinking it was hers. I was jumped up. I was like, oh, you know, because this thing's like beep, 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 beep. Real annoying, really annoying alarm clock. And then I got up out of bed and I grabbed it and I was pointing it to her and I was saying, it's mine. It's this. I have not set this alarm in over a year. And it definitely has not been set since I moved back upstairs. It's not even on the right time. Right now it says 1:15. It's 12:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I actually did a 58-minute recording before I realized that the mic was off. When I went to play a video clip, I went to hit the off button on the microphone and realized that I had been recording for 58 minutes without the microphone on. So that kind of sucked some wind out of my sails, my friends. But we're going to continue on nonetheless. I'm not going to bore the heck out of you guys with all this stuff, all right? So if you want to sub up to BitChute or my main channel on the Ancient of Days, please do. You can. The links are always in the box. You can just go in the box and there they are. Here we go. Let's take a look at what's going on here, because this is where it all really, the madness started. We had our car broken into with everything thrown around. Rolls of $10 quarters were in the glove box or in the center console. I don't remember what my wife told me, but we woke up one morning, door was open, and everything was thrown all over the driveway. Literally thrown all over the driveway. The $10 rolls of coins weren't taken. Then, more recently, the railing on the deck was broken off, and it kept getting loose. So I kept driving screw decks into it, saying, what's going on here? Is our deck falling apart? And eventually, a big chunk of it broke off, and it was hanging off. And then our gutter on the side of the deck was nearly clearly ripped off. I mean, almost completely ripped off, to where those long pins that go into the gutter, go into the side of the roof, they were pulled out so far and bent down. The pins were actually bent. Then, many other occasions have there been vandalism on our property. People that drive by and throw bottles of pee in our yard and everything else. I mean, people are just absolutely disgusting. All right, and then I was feeling my neighbors were involved, right? And then when my wife looked at the video footage last night, that's why I couldn't get the video up last night, is because it wasn't prepared, it wasn't ready. I was looking at my neighbor and wondering why my neighbor was outside at 4:30 in the morning, running at a speed in which I could never fathom he could run, and then talking with these humanoids that probably aren't human at all. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact they aren't humans at all, because I've never seen humans climb trees like this, that's for sure. So yeah, this was, they're pulling off all these shingles. You could see the flashing was clearly ripped off. This is Tyvek. I went up there and did the inspections on the roof. So let's look at this one here. I'm not going to bore you with it real quick. This is the opposite side of the deck facing the neighbor, in which I was saying I can't imagine my neighbor ever running that fast. That's absolutely unbelievable. Here you can see there's an extra layer of sheet metal. That's called flashing. This side is completely ripped off. You could see there's more shingles on this side. Okay, if we go right here, you could see. Look at here, it's completely bare. There's no shingles there. So they got taken down several layers. When we first bought the house in 2015, the inspectors, and one inspector was on the roof and one I was talking to, and it turned out that there was actually like double the required amount of layers of shingles upon the roof. And he said, well, that's excessive, but it's great for you. You won't have to worry about a roof for 20 or 30 years. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. But back in 2019, one of the caps to the chimney that prevents the rain and snow and ice from going down into your furnace or your fireplace. We have a fire brick stove. It's kind of like a pellet stove, but they use fire bricks. You could also burn regular wood in there, which we do. But yeah, it's awesome. Okay, but it was the side that was the furnace that was getting water poured down it, and the guy was amazed. The man who was from the company who was doing chimney repair and things of that sort said, "Wow, it's amazing that you didn't have a serious problem, because that was going right down into your furnace." All right. So then what we had them do is replace the flashing. They replaced the flashing brand new. They put a new cap on top, and now the flashing is gone. Now here's the thing, guys, is that if I was to go outside and stand on my deck anytime over the summer or within the last month or whenever, I would see this. You can't miss it when you're standing on the deck. I would be like, whoa, why is there a Tyvek there? So then what I did is, before I went up on the roof, I went and I opened up the attic, which was sealed with all kinds of caulk and everything else. I went and I climbed up in the ladder and shined a light up into the support beams that come down for the roof, and there's clear water damage coming down. Not terrible, but water is seeping through. So if we were to get, like we typically do over the winter, a couple of feet or more of snow and ice on top of this, there's a strong possibility we'd have a real serious problem with our roof. So now I have to call a chimney guy and have him take a look at it and see how much damage is really done. I went up there on the roof and inspected it. I've never seen anything like it, and I used to work construction. I built 2 high-end shoe stores in West Hartford, Connecticut, from the ground up. Okay, so I'm very familiar with construction, and I have never seen anything like it. What do I feel that this is? Maybe not this thing specifically, but they have AI technology, whether it is fallen angel technology, which I strongly feel that it is, or whether it be other types of AI builder technology, cybernetic, that is fully autonomous or runs on a program given by those who are controlling it to go ahead and build, is what it is. And I have no doubt that these things are actually fully sentient, because as I had talked about recently from Stephen Benoon, he said top brass at the Pentagon preparing for a war with ETs, so to say, extraterrestrials, right? Well, we know that's the fallen race. Well, when I show you the video footage, you're going to clearly see that obviously military personnel are well aware of what's going on up here. There's no way they wouldn't be aware of it, as well as I've captured them many times. And I've also proclaimed that there is a deep underground military base up here, and because there's 2 military bases here, an international airport, a sub base in I think it's Groton, Connecticut, we're on the East Coast. This would be the perfect location for a deep underground military base, and would perfectly explain why all of these beings that aren't in spirit form, these are in physical form now. You will see in the video footage that they are in physical form that I have captured on the morning of the 21st. Let's get into it right now, because I don't want to waste any more time and potentially lose you guys. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the footage now, guys, alright? Now, when you have night vision cameras out there, anything that is giving off even the slightest amount of light, I mean, just a dim light, it gives off like a carnival. When I opened up the window that's to the right of me, I expected to see Ferris wheels and a carnival out there. But no, this was very dim. Almost, I could almost not see it with the naked eye. That's how dim it was. It's just like a dull light. Same with this here. This down here is my backyard neighbor's home. Okay, so all this here was set up. So let's get started looking at this. And I want you to notice the guy that's going to roll in here, much larger than the beings that appear to be inside this structure of some sort that's not there anymore. I don't know what it was. Okay, and because the alarm went off at 4:20 something, I don't feel specifically Father God had led me to come out and record this on my computer through the ADT security system that is with night vision cameras on the outside of the house. I feel that the adversary wanted to show off and show me things to put fear into me. And it shook me up a little bit for the first day or so, but after that I realized that what I had been saying the entire time was the truth. So let's watch. Okay, watch right here. You're going to see a guy roll up or something roll up. He's quite large. Look at how much bigger this thing here that just rolled back in, that I'm going to back up a little bit, okay, as I'm talking. Look at how much larger this thing is compared to the other humanoid looking things that are inside this little merry-go-round looking thing, okay? Now he's backing up. You can see he's got a very long stride, and as he backs up, you're going to see him come into from back here around the trees. Now I'm going to hit play, watch him roll up, and then we're going to just let it play. You saw that one thing move back as he rolled up. So it looks like this thing here, which we don't know what it is, and it has a very odd shape. It almost looks hunchbacked a little bit, and it seems to be moving its arms. Focus right here, because this thing is about to climb the tree. Here it goes. Watch this. As it walks over, now watch this right here. Keep watching. He swings, and then leaps up. All he did is darken the contrast a little bit. Now he's up on this thing here. Okay, there's like right here. I'm going to hit pause so you don't miss anything. There's like a branch or a cross section going across between these two trees. All right, and then it looks like something here and something here, so it might be temporary for all we know. Okay, again, this was not that bright. This was very, very dull, but in the night vision it looks bright. Now let's keep watching. Now you got another thing crawling up there. Because it's night vision, these things glow. There's even like a little tiny thing right here. And now you're going to see it enter this crawl space that goes right into the tree. Now this guy's going in. Look at him crawling in. You see him right here? If the cursor got in the way, don't worry about it, because something's coming back out. Something small, then it went back in. There you go. As they come back out, or others come out, one or the other, they seem to be talking to the big guy again. Now this little one just went back into the tree crawl space. This one here went straight into the tree crawl space. He's trying to anyway. There he goes. Alright, now let's pause and get a look at this guy here. This is what I call AI cybernetic builders. This to me looks like a robotoid of some sort. And then you have a rectangle piece right here on the other side. It's almost as if he's welding or something with some sort of high technology. You could even see here it has the structure of a board, the look to it, but this too is also likely some type of material that is highly durable. I would not expect it to be wood. This was much, much higher than the night vision cam. I had to go out the window with my P900, and I was in an awkward position, so it was very hard to keep the camera steady. This guy looks metallic. Okay? Even has some technology mounted on the top. Let's watch what he's doing here. Because this is work being done in the trees, as I had stated was being done all the way back on May the 2nd of 2021. Sorry I couldn't hold it steadier, but look right here. Okay, it has the structure of like a 2x6, right? But there's multiple of them. This is some sort of structure they're building within the trees, and I don't know if it's welding. I highly doubt it. I'm sure it's much more high technology than that. And you could see this thing. I don't know if it's a human wearing a mask or a non-human wearing a mask or just completely robotic cybernetic. It could be any of the three. And I don't like to speculate so much, but you know what? I didn't run out there and talk to this thing that was probably 100 feet into the air. Okay, and if we stop right here, look, you could clearly see it looks like there's something on top of this thing that looks like it has an eye there and an eye there, like a mask, almost like a mask. And this looks like technology mounted onto it with, again, this piece here. If you go back to the AI holography video, I showed all of these plates and projectors mounted in the tree structures. Okay, now we got a still shot of it. Very, very interesting looking. Now let's get a look at this right here. See that flashing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to back it up a little bit so you can see it better. Okay, now pay attention to right here. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the light goes on over here. Now listen here. All right, we see two shadows. I'm not going to speculate. We don't know if they're humans or what, but we see a shadow here and a shadow there. I want you not to pay attention to this or any of the things in the trees or anything anywhere. Just the shadows right here. Okay, let's watch. So there's definitely something there, and you can see it. It's about to walk off into the darkness. That's a big shadow. I thought this was my neighbor until I had my wife look at the footage. Sometimes having two people work with discernment brings everything together. This wasn't my neighbor, okay? Now the light goes off. 15 minutes later, okay, I did a cut. The light goes back on. Now watch this. This is incredible. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we go close. This here, you're going to see what I thought was my neighbor walking out here. But my neighbor is only 5'5", and he's not in the best shape, okay? You wouldn't be able to see him sprinting back, that's for certain. That's what had me so freaked out. I was like, what in the world? So let's watch right here where it's bright. Now watch this guy. Walks out. We're going to back him up and do it again. Okay, there he is. So it's definitely not my neighbor as I look at it, because my neighbor is not tall and thin. This guy walks out, almost looks like he's in shorts, and it looks like there's like a dog following him. Well, my neighbor has a cat, a very old one at that. Okay, so the dog-looking thing walks back this way. Now we're going to see my neighbor's head come up over here and then walk up onto his deck. He has a pool over here, okay? Keep watching right here. You're going to see a little bright spot there, and you're going to see my neighbor right there. See him walking in right here? Now keep watching, guys. This area here, very important. There goes the dog-like thing running. Now you just see that guy sprinting. Okay, that's not two people. What that is that I looped it so that you could see it run twice. Now let's back it up, because this is what convinced me it wasn't my neighbor. I was saying to my wife, I can't believe our neighbors are involved. You know, I was freaking out. So watch this. As we move him forward, now I want you to notice something, okay? Whoa, went too far. Back it up a hair, right there, okay? It looks like something is running directly alongside of him or is on his back. Right there, okay. Look at this thing. Long leg, long stride. Almost looks like a giant frog. I mean, absolutely amazing looking. Okay, now let's move him forward. Okay, right there. I was saying it looks like something's attached to his back or running directly alongside him. That's possible. Let's keep moving him forward, because this here was the nail in the coffin. As he gets to this bush right here, you're going to see his leg shoot out. Boom, right there. Let's back it up. Okay, it's almost like he hops over the bush going into my yard. He literally jumps over it. And that is a big bush. He jumped over the bush and into my yard. One last time. Watch this. He jumped over the bush into my yard. Okay, now let's look at this. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. Look right here, and then boom, that thing falls down. Looks like sparks or something, right? Let's back that up. Okay, look right here. You're going to have flashes and then what looks to be sparks coming out of the tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then watch that. Boom. Now we loop it. See that? That was amazing. Now look over here. See that? 1, 2. This thing is just flashing for no reason. 4. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this guy shuts off the light at the neighbor's house because it's motion sensor. And here is a micro drone. It looks like a Cheerio. I have captured literally hundreds of these, but I never shared them because I figured people wouldn't, they'd just doubt it, wouldn't take it seriously. Even when brother Lou Fiore came over to do a little investigation with me for about 20 minutes, there was one circling him, but I told him about it, but I never showed it to him. Here's what they look like. They're about the size of a pea. Looks like a Cheerio. Let's take a look at this thing. This is their technology. That's why they don't care about your weapons. Because this thing, if it's traveling at 500, 600 feet per second, it'd go right through your head. Let's continue to watch. Boom. Back and forth, back and forth. These are AI autonomous drones. Not sure exactly what they're used for, likely for data mining. Alright, now let's get back to the beginning here. There's the guy that walks up. I'm not going to slow it down or anything. I want you to watch him swing up, climb the tree. Now that you know what you're looking for, how effortlessly they do this. Look at that. He just swings right up to the tree. Big guy's up there. There's the little guy. And then there's the humanoid size one. talking to this big guy right here. Then the little one's going to go into the crawl space, okay, right here. Looks like they have a cross section here. It might be temporary, I'm not sure. And then they just crawl into the crawl space as if this is like an elevator system. Because I feel strongly there's 2 military bases up here and also an outpost my wife told me about that's within walking distance that's heavily guarded with many fences and security perimeters. So there is likely a military base under our feet. Now they're talking to that big guy. Now we're looking at how it all started. They likely used AI robotics to cause destruction and damage to our property because as a TI, one of the things they like to do is drain you financially. Over the past 2 years, we have spent well over $15,000 on all the things that have just spontaneously blown up here. And that just the past, well, maybe closer to 3 years, I don't know, 2.5 years maybe. And then here you could see there's a whole extra layer of flashing, a whole extra layer of shingles compared to the next picture that's going to show you right here. There's the extra shingles and the extra flashing. Right here it's ripped clean off. No shingles there. I've never seen anything like this before in my life. Okay, so this is some serious damage that they've been causing, and every time my wife told me there was things on the roof, I couldn't understand what she was saying. Now right here, this here is a bright light, and these are some directed energy beams. This is a weapon system. The entire thing they have built up here is because we should know, and I don't want to talk about the juice that they need to use through a palisade too much, but we should know, for those of us that have looked at the patents or have watched videos about the patents, they are frequency activated. Well, what do you think they are building now through clandestine technology? This is the very first structure they built on my property. And because they likely turned it on in the morning after they were done working, this is what came out. Because these were now being pulsed with or charged with the radio frequency signal. So all of the antenna structure came out that is buried deep within all of this camouflage, so to say. You could even see how it goes across here, goes up, comes across. This one comes down and goes down this way. This one goes straight down. This one goes straight down, never goes past the tree line, and that's because this is a clandestine antenna structure. And you're going to hear in some video clips by Whistleblower Tom and David Goldberg that talks about this exact thing from the agenda that's to take place from 2020 to 2025. Okay, right here is actually a reptilian being. One eye there, one eye there. Long snout, wide mouth open, looks like a T-Rex. I didn't go into the length of bringing them out because this is what I wanted to bring out. Boom. All these, they make sure they're going to hit you because these are direct line of sight. It has to be. So in order to hit whoever they want to hit, well, just make sure you spray as much across the battlefield as you can. Well, in this case, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 directed energy beams being shot out of this single frame alone. If that's not a weapon system, I wouldn't know what else to call it. Let's keep watching. Okay, so this is when I saw up in the tree there was some weird pulsing light. So I went out the window and you could see again, they look like boards, but I'm sure they're not. Something was doing some work up here that was causing a pulsing light. But what I want to show you next is that they were doing their best to hide it with holographic cloaking technology. These are holographic lasers. Going all the way back to the holographic cloaked craft technology video, were these things. This is what they use as a synthetic veil. By ionizing the barium, the strontium, and the aluminum, it creates a synthetic veil. I call it the barium refractive veil, so that you can't see what's truly taking place, or it is severely distorted to the point where 99.9% of people wouldn't take a second look. Well, I'm that 0.1% of people that take a triple look and then bring out the details. Now look right here. Because a lot of their technology is actually translucent. Believe it or not, guys, I even have the patents. I'll put it in one of my next videos. This is a directed energy beam, a radio frequency beam being shot down. Because it's fixed, point line of sight only. I'm sure that they were hoping that they could point this directly at me in my window, but because they couldn't, I captured it shooting directly down, and it certainly was not making contact with me. Look at how incredible this looks. Okay, this was at night. This was dark out. This is just from changing the contrast and the temperature and the colors and the tint and all that. So yeah, directed energy beam being shot straight down. Radio frequency. So if that wasn't mind-bending enough for you, we got a little more to go, guys, but we're almost wrapped up. I just want to play a couple clips, one from Whistleblower Tom and then one from David Goldberg, that talks about how they were going to do this. That's why they were expanding it over many years, because they didn't want it all of a sudden whole bunch of people disappear at once and people start asking questions. So he was saying they wanted to do a flu outbreak. 2020, the winter of 2020, he was saying. And that's exactly when the flu outbreak began that we call C19, right? All right, well, let's go ahead and take a look at Whistleblower Tom here and listen as to what he says about what it is about their technology as to why they don't care.
The truth. I mean, if you know the truth, they're going to come after you. They want these people alive, and they're going to do experiments on them. They're going to do torture on them. The things that go on down there are beyond anything you can imagine. I'm talking about chimeras. I'm talking about where they're combining our DNA with animals and creating hybrid creatures. That's just an example of things they do. That's the real terrifying aspect of it. I mean, it's easier if they just kill you and you get to go to heaven. For a lot of these patriots, they got their guns and they got their provisions and they're bugged out off-grid. It's going to be a lot worse for you. Not only is that not going to protect you, they're going to come for you and they're going to take you on the ground and they're going to do things to you and your family you don't even want to think about. And it is in the documents. David showed them to me. I laid eyes on them. Now, some people might not understand the relationship there. My military source told me about Project Zypher and Project Pogo over it was a couple different occasions. Before I knew about David and met David, he told me about all this. But he did not use the names of the projects, and that's because we had these face-to-face conversations that could have been recorded or overheard, and we had to be really careful. He never used the names of the projects. Then I meet David, and then I learn about all this, and I said, oh my God, this is the same thing. My military source was talking about it. David's talking about it too. They don't know each other at all. They did not know each other from Adam, but there was the same information that really confirmed for me that this is real. And then David showed me the documents because I'd never seen the documents. I'd only been told about it. David showed me the documents. I laid eyes on them. I'm not going to tell you how I saw them, but I'll tell you I saw them. And oh my God, it was terrifying because they were real. The documents were real. I have a military background myself. I know what the documents are supposed to look like, how they look. These were real, and everything in them matched up to what my military source had told me previously. So, absolutely terrifying what they got planned. And they want you to be totally asleep. There's a reason why there have been so many people that have cried wolf over the past 10, 15 years. Well, there's going to be martial law. Well, this is going to happen. Jade Helm's going to happen. These paid disinfo agents were paid to do this, to put you to sleep, so that when somebody like me comes along or David comes along, you don't listen and you don't take action and don't do anything. This is a long-term psychological program. If they knew if they had enough people cry wolf, well, 2012. Well, Obama's going to declare martial law. Well, Jade Helm is the beginning of the end. This kept happening and happening and happening, and it demoralized the Patriot movement. And now when somebody starts talking about it, nobody believes them. Well, you can believe me, and you can believe what David said. I mean, if you don't believe now, there is no hope for you.
So that was Tom, the whistleblower from the Friends of David Goldberg channel. I actually had a agent contact me and ask me, why did I publish the Friends of David Goldberg video that you're about to listen to, a clip right here? And I replied, because I knew it was the truth the moment I heard it, and I didn't hear back from him. Okay, everything David Goldberg has revealed has come to pass thus far. Thing is, they're doing this, it's like a slow roll, a slow burn. They don't want all of a sudden everybody vanishing at once and people start asking questions. All right, so let's listen to David Goldberg here, guys, just for a brief clip, and then we're going to wrap it up.
I would expect they have this plan of gatekeeping and tracking people, but they're going to take it to a new level with Project Zephyr. They're going to take it to a new level. They're going to exterminate these people, one by one, through the blackouts. I mean, it says in the classified documents they plan to pick them up. They're just going to physically pick them up. They're also going to use all kinds of other means to eliminate them. Not just the high-value targets are going to be picked up. The lower-value targets will be given viruses, targeted viruses, that activate either right away or over time. They don't want it to be too obvious that all of a sudden a whole bunch of Americans get sick. Of course, there will be official stories in the news media. Okay, there's a flu outbreak, which indicates to me this will probably happen in winter. Not this winter, but possibly the winter of 2020, 2021.
Gee, that sounds like exactly what happened in the winter of 2020, 2021. Well, we went into our first lockdown in March of 2020. And then this entire agenda, called Agenda 21, 2030, is to take place. The eugenics agenda is to take place through 2025. They have, 5 years now? It's almost 22. They got 3 more years. I don't know how many people have passed, but from the looks of it, the geopolitical situation, along with all of these other variants and other viruses, even smallpox and things of that sort that they've been talking about, are making their way onto the world stage. La Palma volcano, okay? We don't know if that's a complete just distraction or not. But if that thing goes ahead like they've predictive programmed for so many decades, then yeah, that will be what David Goldberg had talked about, that they are going to initiate something that is devastating and absolutely terrifying. And he said that their goal was to do all countries at once. And if you guys have been keeping up with the news on cryptos and Bitcoin, they are making a transition rather, into digital currency. So it won't be long, guys. I don't have a date. I never pick dates because it seems like once you come into understanding of what's happening, That's what makes it hard. When you receive the spirit of prophecy, Christ Yeshua, when you receive that spirit to that person, it has already happened. So you can't put time on spirit because it's not bound by time. But what you can do is take that knowledge and then watch as a watchman like I am and see how it rolls out. When I first came onto YouTube, yes, I was very, very presumptuous. But now I am very, very careful because I know how this whole beast system works. It's so huge. It's like, okay, it doesn't just like go right onto the whole earth at once, okay? It takes time for all of these agendas to permeate through everywhere because they have to put on the show. The whole Hegelian dialectic, Jachin and Boaz, going back and forth, putting your reptilian brain in a state of shock until the towers fall, and then uprises the resurrection, which is called the Kabbalist New World, One World Order, rising up in their own image. Guys, I look forward to seeing you sometime soon. I can't put a timeline on videos anymore because I physically can't do a video unless I'm led. And I don't like to do videos that are just like for the topic of the day. I like to do videos that stand the test of time. Alright, so if you would like to get caught up on AI behavior modification technology, let's see. This video here on my BitChute channel, link is in the box. I'll even include this link in the box. IPEC GOAT 2 C19 PCR test, the NWO Transhuman AI Behavior Control Matrix, Prison for the Mind. That gets into all about this technology. Now, once you are linked up to this hive mind technology, then they will have full control of you like an Agent Smith, being able to jump right into you and take over, because through the neighbor's eyes and through your friend's eyes and through the TV and through your smartphones and through your devices, everything is watching everybody. And that is what is called synthetic omnipresence for the New World Order and our adversary, the devil, who is the false Messiah coming. So I look forward to seeing you guys real soon. You have a blessed day and a great holiday. For my American friends, blessed Thanksgiving and much love from my family to yours. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you real soon. Take care.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day.